So, Mark, did you see the bachelorette party at Binion's, Shrek themed? As they say, you never know what you'll see in Vegas, even a fairy tale makeover.
Yeah, and it seems weird because Shrek hasn't been around in a long time. It was kind of popular when we were somewhat growing up, probably a little bit past it. But there is a new movie coming out, I believe, next year at some time. And the one, I'm guessing it's the bride to be as Lord Farquaad. Awesome costume. I'm just glad it's something different. It's not just straws and hats everywhere.
We can't. So happy Wednesday, everyone. Las Vegas progressing. Mark, we see new aerials of the BLVD Mall, and it's kind of cool to see this now in its somewhat final form. Netflix house still under construction. The in and out, the palm trees are there. I mean, it seems like it's weeks away from opening, yet no opening date gets there. But this project, let's talk about it. I think it turned out to be pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a really nice looking mall. We've talked about how it's right up on the sidewalk, and maybe some people won't love that, but I think the building is kind of unique. I love that they have the third story kind of open, that people can hang out there at night, and there's going to be a lot of food options up there. And this in and out, it's going to be the busiest one in the world, don't you think?
Probably competing with the one down the street. And yeah, I mean, I just think the vibes, the rooftop views, the mix of tenants that they brought in there, you know, replacing Hawaiian Marketplace in a strip mall, essentially. This is one of the few projects that I think has improved the area. You know, that area has changed a lot when you factor in this new mall and everything it replaced. And then obviously the Travel Lodge and the Harley Davidson stuff that Tillman Fertitta tore down. So that whole block is probably changed more than anything else in the last few years.
Yeah, beautiful parking lot there now, right?
It's a beautiful parking lot, rooftop views, and soon the largest in and out in Las Vegas. Thanks, Chris Holmes, for your continued drone footage. But let's see, is Las Vegas recovering in 2026? A lot of questions. You know, last weekend, the Frozen Four, Bruno Mars, crazy weekend in Vegas, and there's still crowds. Even when you go on a slow weekday, there's still crowds. I don't know what people are talking about, but what do the analysts say? What are the numbers saying for the future? CDC Gaming has a great article about this. And starting in like March, they say that if the ConAg Expo didn't bring its 140,000 people, strip rates would have been down 3%, MGM down 9%. Looking forward to April, Caesars rates down 12%. And the strip down about 8% year over year. So still some lowering of room rates, and the hope that these all-inclusive deals will bring back some of the lower end clientele, while all the numbers seem to indicate the higher end people still are coming. So not a huge change from every other month that we've talked about.
Yeah, I mean, they're focusing on the higher end. They keep bumping those prices up. People are willing to pay it to get that experience, or are more able to pay it. And I think, you know, these all-inclusive deals that they're rolling out and trying to go after the lower end of the market, the more budget-conscious person, I think they came out a little bit late. Like, we've been talking about this for 6 months, 12 months now, that they were kind of losing out on that marketplace, and that they should have focused on it a bit more. And the question is, have they already moved on? Have they decided to go elsewhere? Or is there just no budget left, even at a banging deal that we talked about, like, you know, MGM, Caesars? There's all these good options, but has that money already been spoken for, or is there not enough left over for them to pull off the Vegas trip? It just seems like they might have missed the mark a bit. Hopefully it picks up some steam and they really start bringing people out.
Yeah, a few other interesting things from this article. In the first quarter, mid-tier rooms were down 7%, while low-end rooms were down 10%. So that sort of tells you why we saw some of the deals we did. But May is looking sort of good. The strip is overall up in May. So May looking good, maybe into the summer. So we will have to see. But I think that we're probably in for a year that's pretty close to last year. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, I think there'll be ebbs and flows throughout the year, but we'll probably end up somewhat on par, which is still great in comparison to previous years before COVID and all of that. So I think it's all relative.
So let's talk Vegas myths. Corey Leviton back with another myth busted. This one I had not heard, but apparently people think that the Luxor is sinking, and there's videos about this, and he traced it all back to a single entry back in 2010 from a journalist in a database, and that sort of started the rumors here. Had you heard this, that the Luxor was sinking?
Yeah, I think it was always said, like, oh, they're going to knock down the Luxor next because MGM, it's sinking. And I feel like every town we had a school that they closed down and they said it was sinking, and the school's still open, but it's like a choice school type of thing, not a normal type of school setup. So I think every town, every area, Vegas is just bigger than everything else. But it seems like everybody has this urban legend.
But it's not really an urban legend if you go next door to Mandalay Bay, and this is probably where this comes from, and then it got transferred over. In 1998, Mandalay Bay sank while it was under construction, 17 inches, so much so that they had to put 536 pin piles under the ground to stabilize it. And I heard stories back then that the doors wouldn't close and all sorts of stuff. They were pretty far along on construction when they had to basically jack up the building in order to get it to settle. But all these years later, it seems to be holding. So that's good. I'll put a link down in the description. There's a fun Las Vegas Sun article from back then talking about Circus Enterprises and their stock and trying to merge with Hilton. Those were the days.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy when you think about it, and it's kind of scary that it was built and starting to sink, and then you're okay. It's lasted, so they must have fixed it. I will say, when I was staying at the Luxor last time, I did pay attention walking around the atrium area, and you do see like settling. There's huge cracks right in the corner points when you're walking to the open air part of the atrium on each floor. You can see like elbow cracks and everything like that. So it is, and I remember thinking maybe it is sinking because there's quite a bit of disrepair here.
I mean, they built the place in 9 months, I think, Mark. If I remember right, it was like 9 months. So think about that. I've told the story before of being there on like opening day, and they were throwing sod down on the landscaping because the place was just so unfinished, and they raced to get it open. But that made it so unique. And I guess at this point we should mention the Nile Boat River ride. We can't go a segment without saying that.
Yeah, and the inclinators.
And the monorail. Oh my God, we miss the old Luxor so much. In a minute, we're going to talk about a Las Vegas microwave hack. But before we do, I would love to invite you to subscribe. We're so close to 60K, just a couple hundred away. Help us get over the hump so I can shut up about it. Thanks in advance. So on the last show, I talked about the ban on swings up in Reno, up in Washoe County, and how they're considering getting rid of them, and made me talk about old playgrounds. And then, of course, the YouTube algorithm surfaced this video of dangerous playgrounds, Mark. And it has all the fun stuff that we had as a kid, and it just made me nostalgic for that, and I'm wondering why we don't have some of that stuff anymore.
Yeah, we still find some playgrounds around here in smaller towns that have like the metal slides that burn you as you go down, and if it's a little bit wet, you shoot off like you're on a jet stream. The craziest thing that we did find was a merry-go-round that still worked, and as a parent, like I get my kids on there and you push it around, you're like, okay, this is so crazy that this was the thing. One, you could fall under, roll under, get your head hit like 100 times in a row, that this was even a thing. But I remember pushing that and just jumping out and jumping up and having your feet like kick out because it was going so fast. When you're on the outside with the centrifugal force, you're just kind of flying for a minute.
The merry-go-rounds were crazy. The teeter-totters where you tried to throw the other person off of it. It's like these were death machines, and they were so great. And this video goes through all the different kinds, the metal slides, the splinters, the different kind of swings. That's sort of where we were talking about it. The old wooden swings where you get a splinter in your butt, all that good stuff. I love the nostalgia of all of that. So yeah, go check out that video.
Did you ever on the teeter-totter, like when you're the low person, you just get off real quick so the other person goes down and smashes their nuts?
No comment. So let's talk microwave hacks. Actually, this is a 2-in-1 video that came across my YouTube Shorts feed. And this is an interesting way he cut this video together, right, Mark? Because you start off in a Caesar suite.
I was so confused.
Yeah, it was crazy. And so we start with the Caesar suite and this pull-out microwave, which we don't find out till the end of this video what this means, because in the middle of the video, we cut to Cosmo and the microwave hack. A lot of people don't know this, that you can request a microwave at Cosmo free of charge no matter what room you're in. And I love it because of the Hungry Man. He has the Hungry Man. Eat your Hungry Man at the Cosmo on the Strip.
I mean, who doesn't go to Vegas to just go buy a CVS frozen meal and cook it in their room? But what's crazy is that it wasn't just Hungry Man. There was like 15 different things. And he says he cooked them all and ate them. And what, like, how do you refrigerate this? There's no freezer. So you have to, why would you buy that much stuff? And then you have to make it all quickly. Maybe our boy C-Note walks around at the bottom of his backpack cooler, has a Hungry Man down there waiting to get microwaved.
C-Note, take note. I don't want to know what the microwaves would look like at Excalibur if they gave them out for free. But yeah, I mean, this is a great video. It's a great way to get engagement to mix these things together. But yeah, at the end of the video, you see this microwave over at the Caesar's Palace Suite, which is actually cool. It's like a drawer pulls out and then you put the stuff in the top. So who knew you could get so much microwave content into one video?
I mean, you have to say he came up, he named it perfectly, the Murphy bed of microwaves.
Yeah, it really is neat things. Great video. Go check it out and let us know if you've ever eaten a hungry man while sitting on your veranda overlooking the Las Vegas Strip. But let's talk airports and why Harry Reid International Airport's the best airport in the country, Mark. The TSA lines are never that long, but now, in case you're worried, you have anxiety, they finally put the wait times online, which many airports have already had. But I was going through their website and going through the different times and stuff, and they have predicted wait times throughout the week. So you can go to the day and time and say historically what it's been. No day or time where it averages over 20 minutes.
Yeah, I remember 20 years ago, the Vegas, sometimes TSA was backed up and it wasn't the best situation. But the last 10, 15 years, it's been smooth every time I go through. Never waited more than a few minutes to get through security, whether I have clear or not clear, or any time throughout the history of my trips. So they do a really good job there. They have it split up well. They have multiple places to go to get through there. I don't know that I would trust these things. It kind of feels like Disney Fast Pass type, where the app says 15 minutes and you get there and it's an hour. But maybe the historical stuff is better to look at. That can, of course, change from day to day. But I think most of the time, if you get to Vegas an hour, hour and a half early, you're fine.
As someone who flies out a lot using TSA PreCheck Clear if I need to, I rarely ever worry about the waits there. I just show up and I've been pretty good, and I don't get there very early at all, but this is another great tool. Some people hate that airport. I don't understand why. It's a great airport.
I wish more of the stuff when you're walking to security, all that stuff was behind security. That's the only thing that would make it better before you get on the tram and everything. I think that when you get to the gates, there's not as much stuff there. So it would have been cool if they would have worked that where all of the things that you walk through on your way to security was after security.
Since you're talking about that area, I saw these pictures recently of like the 1980s in McCarran International Airport, and these weird 80s looks and aesthetics and colors. It looks like a total vibe.
I think it looks amazing. It kind of feels Miami Vice-ish, which was very popular back then. It does maybe not as much deserty as you would think, but if they brought that back right now, I think everybody would love it.
Yeah, it just feels so cool. Imagine landing there in the 80s, about to go to one of the smoky casinos and single zero roulette, 3-2 blackjack, cheap bets. Oh man, those were the days.
You had your neon coat on with the sleeves rolled up.
Okay.
You remember that in Miami Vice where he always wore like a blazer that was like super colorful and then would have his sleeves pushed up to his elbow?
I never watched Miami Vice.
I didn't watch it either, but I remember the promos.
The clock is ticking on 2026, and Las Vegas Advisor has hundreds in savings for you. Just $45 with code MTM. Gambling, hotels, food, free play, all kinds of great stuff. Incredible amount of savings for $45.
Yeah, you should make it back in one trip probably.
Yeah, new customers only. Check out the link in the description. Thanks to Las Vegas Advisor for their partnership. But let's talk Vanderpump Hotel. We got a little bit of an inkling on how the casino is going to go as they've slowly been transitioning. As a reminder, the casino is open through this transition. And I think that kind of tells you how far they're going to go with changing it. But we got some indication with the chandeliers. The famous red, dark, sexy chandeliers at Cromwell are being changed. They're not removing them. We might be in the middle of the process here, but you can see how they painted the ceiling much lighter. That might indicate the casino might be taking a lighter aesthetic.
Yeah, I hope that they're only halfway through this transformation because it looks like they found something on the street. Yeah, they took down everything that I really liked about those chandeliers and that walkway. It was kind of moody, sexy. The red covers over the lights and the jewels that kind of dangled, the sparkly stuff that was hanging. So I'm hoping that they're going to put something over those lights because they just look kind of like they got them from Goodwill and put them up there. They got to put something over the cover to cover those lights and maybe add a little pop of color. So we'll have to see what it looks like when it's all said and done. But right now, I'm not loving it. So I'm hopeful that when it's finished or if there is more to do, that looks a lot better than this.
I think there's a lot more to do, and I think we'll see some pink stuff up there. I think those new lampshades will come in, and I think the ceiling is the biggest sort of tell here because it's much lighter than the old version.
Yeah, I kind of like the darkness, the moodiness of the Cromwell, but we've seen from the rooms, it's very light, very airy, very bright. So I'm assuming that it's going to be similar in the casino. I don't know that I'm going to love the finished product because I thought the casino was pretty great the way it was, but I'm going to withhold judgment until it's all said and done.
So let's go out to Summerlin and the resort at Summerlin. We never covered this, I don't think, on the show, but the Rampart Casino and the JW Marriott at the beginning of this year became the resort at Summerlin. After being there for like 25 years, they finally decided we're going to brand it all as one property. And indeed, it is an incredible resort. People should put this on their radar. The hotel is great. The casino is decent, and they've renovated a lot there. They have that new food hall going in there. And somebody just won $1.7 million on Dollar Storm.
Yeah, I think it's a good rebranding. I mean, everybody kind of knows the Rampart as a more elderly crowd, and it doesn't really scream beautiful resort, and it really is more of a resort. I mean, I know we talked about when you stayed there. It just has that feel that it really should be leaned into more. One of the better hotels that's not on the strip, and all of that it has to offer. I think calling it the Summerlin Resort really kind of ties into that better.
Yeah, and it is a resort. It's not like they're just putting the name there. There's lots of beautiful areas to walk around, great resort pools. It's one of those resorts that's set up where the hotel is separate from the casino so that you don't have to deal with the casino if you don't want to. And overall, pretty good. Also, we failed to mention, we did that whole William Hill versus Caesars and how does Caesars choose which brand that goes into which casino, saying that William Hill is, for more independent casinos. But a lot of people pointed out that there is a Caesars sportsbook now at the resort at Summerlin. So, maybe there's casinos that want the bigger Caesars name. They don't care that they're competing against it. And so it does seem like there's no real rhyme or reason to this.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of it has to do with contracts and that are in place, that were in place. And I would think that a lot of places would switch to Caesars if they wanted to. Like, I don't think Caesars is going to say, oh, no, you got to keep William Hill's name. So I imagine more would probably lean towards William Hill, but that's just a guess on my part.
Every time William Hill dies out to a Caesars sportsbook, the man himself is turning in his grave. Does anybody know who William Hill is? That's what I want to know. Leave a comment down below. No? Terrible joke. Okay. So let's close with this. A seventh proposed NBA Vegas arena. Yes, a seventh proposed NBA Vegas arena, Mark. Anything to say?
I mean, this feels very much, what was that amusement park that the influencer was going to build that he threw up on AI? This sounds like that type of slop.
Well, I mean, it does have some big money behind it, like some of the other deals. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on here. Although there are some interesting parts of this, like a 50,000 seat soccer stadium that goes along with the 25,000 seat arena. You could also convert it for a 60,000 seat concert venue. But do we need a 60,000 seat concert venue? I thought we had one up the street at Allegiant Stadium. This is going to be even further south than that proposed one a while back. That was going to be near the Brightline station. This one's at Starr Avenue, so it's almost close to the M Resort. 120 VIP suites. I mean, this is going to be state-of-the-art, mixed use. $10 billion they say it's going to cost, and they say they've secured $6 billion in funding already, not looking for any public funds. So another, I guess, worthy proposal. This is much further from the tourist areas. We've talked about Shelley Berkeley wants one downtown. We got Rio. We got Resorts World. We have LVXP. The sexiest project, by the way, is LVXP. Paul Steelman did an incredible job with the architecture on that. You have those buildings that look like old school Vegas for the hotels. That's a project, if you want like something unique coming to the city, that you should want. But again, I still support just rehabbing T-Mobile Arena for $300 million. We don't need to spend $10 billion. And in this economic environment, it seems like that's the safe money too.
Yeah, the worst thing would be for them to start this and then run out of money or something, or have the economy turn even worse, and then you have a half-built thing sitting there, kind of like the Ferris wheel tower still up there. Oh, we never mentioned. I don't think we ever mentioned that comment on Twitter. What comes down do those come down first, or do we get to 100K subscribers first? I thought that was a genius comment. But yeah, I just don't. What's with the soccer stadium? Like, are we going to do 5 sports teams all of a sudden in Vegas? Are they going to try to shoot for an MLS team? I could see if the expansion was open, you're like, all right, we can do 2 birds, 1 stone. Let's get this in here. I know international soccer's done fairly well there, but you're not going to bring in enough of that to have it. If you have a big soccer program, I just don't know what's the need for this soccer stadium.
Yeah, we wanted an MLS team, I believe, and I'm not an expert on this, so people can chime in, but the MLS expanded a couple of years ago and chose not to choose Las Vegas. I don't believe there's any other expansions on the horizon. That doesn't mean that this wouldn't be a market that they would want. And it's probably not dumb if you're going to build this to have a MLS stadium that gives you more use, more game days everything else. This is going to be a huge mixed use project too. You know, it's called Starr Vegas, just so you know, STARR, named after the street that it's on. And I'm not holding my breath on this one, just like any of the others. I mean, we don't know what the NBA is going to do, but it's exciting to have, you know, we had all those years of the A's and now that's sort of like settled into construction. Now we got to do all this speculation all over again.
Something's going to happen, like you said. I think there will be an NBA team there within the next 3 to 5 years. It's just a question of which way do they go? Do they want something new, or do they want to kind of use what's already there at a budget-friendly price? And we'll have to see what they decide.
So let us know what you guys think about everything we talked about today, old playgrounds, the new arena. Which version of the arena projects do you expect to get built? Everything else we talked, the resort at Summerlin. Are you excited for that rebrand? Let us know down in the comments. And also microwaves. Come on. What a great video that was. We do 3 shows a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And we'll be back in a couple days with another show. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
Get a suite at Cosmo to eat a lean cuisine. Sounds great.
Have
a good week, everybody.
Gotta look good.